Welcome to Inspired Vinyasa. My name is Sandra, and I would love for you to take a comfortable seat and close your eyes. Take a deep inhale through the nose. Loud sigh through the mouth. And as you just allow the body to relax and let go for a moment, perhaps you elicit a soft smile on your face, appreciating the time on your mat, no matter what pose heads your way, right? It's your practice. You have the ability to change any suggestions I make, especially if you're practicing carefully, right? Ahimsa, listening to the body, doing what you need to do. Take another deep inhale and let it go. Slowly inhale the arms up. Bring the palms together and exhale your hands to your heart in prayer pose. We're going to pause here to set an intention for our practice, maybe for the day. Who knows? Maybe for the week. Someone that you love could use some energy. You could add that into your intention as well. When you're done, go ahead and release the hands. Keeping the eyes closed, staying with the breath for another moment. When you're ready, inhale the arms back up. Let the right hand grab onto the left wrist and gently pull you in a side bend to the right. I want you to take your focus to the left side ribs. Can you feel the lengthening that's going on there? Can you feel the gentle stretch? Later, we're going to be working our way in and out of Trikonasana, triangle pose, quite a bit because the theme is about triangle pose. And one aspect of that pose is expansion. You should, in that pose, feel a stretch along the top side of the body. And so let's find it in other places. Let's start making some connections here. Come back to center. Release the arms. Inhale, both arms back up. Left hand is going to grab the right wrist. Gently take that to the left. Focus on the right side of the body. As we discuss the myriad of aspects of triangle pose, really more the symbolism of triangle, we're going to be talking about the auspicious number 3, which many feel is a lucky number. Come back to center, release the arms. Draw the shoulders up, close your eyes, hold it right there. There are many triads in our world, important ones in fact. And so the number 3 relates to a lot of mythology, a lot of cultures. Go ahead, take the shoulders down and back, slowly open the eyes. Perfect. Palms to the knees. Let's round this out into a seated cat. We're going to slowly wake up the spine. So inhale, find your seated cow. Slight arch in the low back. Exhale, round it out, drop the chin. Keep going. Last one. And then when you come back to sitting up tall, go ahead and open out the right leg about 45 degrees. We're going to keep that left foot tucked in, but I want you to look down at the placement of your legs for a moment and imagine you can see the complete triangle. So left knee to the hips, hips to the right foot, draw an imaginary line from the right foot to the left knee. In fact, if you really want to, you could widen out that left shin a little bit so that the left toes are now in line with that line you're drawing in your head. So we're looking for the triangle. A triangle is a very solid form. It can support a lot. Yeah? Go ahead and breathe in and let it go. We're going to walk our way down into a fold right here. So some of the triads that come to my mind would be past, present, future. You might think about, well, the moon has technically 3 stages: wax, waning, and full. The Bible has a very obvious triad. Trying to think what else. I had a whole bunch in my head before we sat down. Well, anyway, regardless, the one I really want to talk about is the link between Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So they create a triad, a very important one, in fact. Go ahead and make your way back up. We're going to take the left hand in front, right hand behind, push the ground away, turn towards that right leg, and come down into a fold right here. So why those 3 gods in particular are linked together is because they encompass everything that occurs in our world. Brahma is considered the creator. Vishnu is the preserver. And then Shiva is the destroyer. Don't think of destruction necessarily as one might think of a death card in tarot. It doesn't mean all bad. It symbolizes change, actually. Go ahead and make your way back up. Let's switch this triangle of the legs to the other side. Again, take a moment, will you, to picture that 3rd line. It would be the hypotenuse, right? Just picture it. Maybe you start to derive some strength from the triangle. Sit up nice and tall, and then walk your way forward into a fold. So with Vishnu and preservation, the other word we could replace preservation with, actually it's 2, sustaining force, sustaining energy. And so if you're in a pose today that is a struggle, I want you to focus on how we sustain that. How do we stay there and yet invoke mental peace as well, so that we're not constantly questioning, why am I in this pose? How much longer is it going to last? Can I hold out? We want to find peace in that pose. So what we're looking for in our transitions is, as Brahma the creator, creating the pose, that initial transition getting us there. Vishnu, sustaining the pose. And then Shiva the destroyer means we're changing. We are transitioning out into something new, right? So as you walk your way back up, we're focusing on Shiva, changing the pose. Right hand in front, left behind. Inhale your length. Turn your heart towards that left leg. Here's Brahma. We're creating a new fold. So come on down over that left leg. Hold it there and breathe. When you're ready, go ahead and make your way back up. Oh, another well-known triad, body, mind, and spirit. Exactly what we're focusing on, right? Okay, well, let's go ahead. Bring those knees in. I'm going to turn sideways on my mat. So with the feet planted on the earth and the knees bent, you can obviously see we've created another triangle underneath the legs. Creates our stability here in this pose. Let's place the hands in front of the knees. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, round it out. Inhale, sit up. Exhale, round it out. Let's hold it right here. Good job. And then, excuse me, sitting back up, but yet tipping behind the sit bones. Let's find out the Navasana half boat. You can hang on if you want. You can release the hands. Find your breath. Let's keep this option A. Option B, grab onto the big toes. And in fact, you could stay right here in half boat hanging onto the toes. So a nice change, right? And then option C, another transition, would be to take the legs into full boat, Navasana. So let's deepen the breath. Good job. Keep breathing. Keep extending. Can you see in this form, we're an upside down triangle? From my feet to my hips, we've got the hypotenuse. From my hips to the top of my head is the second side. And then that imaginary line, or even following the arms if you want, from the head to the toes. And so this upside down triangle, I know we're holding this a while. Hang in there, I haven't forgotten you. A triangle pointing downwards represents feminine energy. It represents women. It's a downward flow like water. It nurtures, it brings life. Okay, I know, it's been a while. Go ahead and slowly take the legs back down. We'll take them into cobbler for a second. Close your eyes here, let all of that go. And so then, of course, if the downward facing triangle is a feminine energy, then the triangle with the long base on the ground, it's a masculine energy. It represents strength. Okay, deep inhale through the nose. Loud exhale. Fabulous. Take your hands behind you. Slowly lower your way down. We'll keep the legs in cobbler for a moment. You might come to your elbows first and then meander all the way down to the earth. We're going to then bring the knees in towards each other and hug them both into the heart, Apanasana. So as we start breaking down Trikonasana or Trikonasana, you hear in every Sanskrit pose asana a lot. You hear asana. Asana is the singular of the pose, but the word asana means comfortable seat. So it's referencing the pose itself. And we might speculate, are we in a comfortable seat? This pose right here, all good, right? Some of the other poses might not feel so comfortable. So that's what it's referencing. Let's go ahead and drop the knees to the left. I'm going to keep my left hand on top of the knees to gently push down. Let's take that right arm and extend it way overhead. Try to keep the shoulder down on the earth. So I have my left hand actively pushing down, which is also helping my hip to lengthen away from me, and I'm kind of actively doing that as well. I'm stretching through the right arm. So again, we're focusing on the expansion right now on the right side of the body. Good job. Let's go ahead and slowly come back to hugging the knees in. Deep inhale. Loud exhale. And then let's take it to the other side. So drop the knees to the right. Right hand up on top of that left knee to apply some pressure. As you do that, lengthen through the left side body. Push the left hip down and away from you. As I did that, I could feel a bunch of cracks going down my spine, so it's a good stretch. Take that left arm all the way up, keep the shoulder down, and now actively expand. So I was breaking down Trikonasana, I didn't forget. Tri, the T-R-I part of that Sanskrit word means three. So a triangle has three angles to it, right? Guess what the middle part of that word means? Cone. It means angle. So it's three angle pose. All right, one more breath here. Good job. So bring that left arm down and then bring it over so you're in a fetal position. I don't really have a lot of room for that, but you hang out there for a second. We're just slowly transitioning, right? Shiva to end that first pose, and then Brahma, move into the creation of the next. So take another breath. And when you're ready, let's slowly come back up and over into table. All right, from here, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Oh, guess what? Another triangle. Who knew? Walk it out for a moment. And then find your stillness in the pose. So spreading the fingers wide, we're planting the hands. The crease of the wrist is parallel to the front of your mat, right? Remember to roll the upper arms outwards so that the shoulder blades find space between them. The hands are pushing the mat away so that my hips can get a little bit higher. The hips move back, right? Legs are strong, knees are not locked. Whether your heels touch the ground or not is not the essence of the pose, so don't worry about that. If the heels are up, still push back into the hips. The ears should be between the upper arms. Heart is softening down. Tell you what, if you can get your heels down to the ground, you could try lifting up your toes a little bit. Okay, let's slowly lift the heels, round the spine to come forward into plank. Hold it here. Another triangle if you beheaded us, right? So picturing all three lines. Are you focused on all three evenly? In other words, are you stressing out right now about the weight that the arms are bearing? Or is this harder on the abs? So are we focused more on the hypotenuse of this triangle? I'm going to rock forward on my toes. Come on down into chaturanga. Inhale, find cobra. Let's pause here a moment. I think the first cobra always feels really great. Feel the low back letting go, I hope. Nice. And then as you come down, let's tuck the toes, and from here just sweep on up into downward facing dog. So playing around with the triangle we've created here, let's take the left hand, reach back for the right ankle. This is twisted dog. And then remember, if this is hard, we're thinking about the Vishnu part of the pose. How do we sustain this? How do we stay in a happy space? Release that left hand back down. Let's try it on the other side. Perfect. Set the right hand back to the earth. Let's cycle through our first vinyasa. So slowly round forward into plank, chaturanga, into cobra, down dog when you get there. Deep breath. And then come on down into balasana, child's pose. When you're ready, go ahead and walk your hands in so we can sit back. I'm going to turn again to face you. So I want to come up on the knees. I want to create a smaller triangle than Trikonasana just so we can work on focusing on the different sides. So let's take that left leg out to gate. Foot is flat, toes are facing forward. You can see the triangle from the foot to the hips to the supporting knee. Draw the imaginary line. Now, close your eyes here for a moment. I want you to focus on the parts of the body touching the ground. That's not too hard. But where's the bulk of your support? Most likely it's in the supporting knee, right? Also that shin that's extending out behind you. Is this pose easy to sustain? It's not bad, right? Are we happy in this pose? So then think about this. If we're not happy here, why would we stay here? This is not really a trick question. So perhaps you might answer, well, we're staying there to learn a lesson, perhaps. But no, what I really meant more was relating to life. If there's something going on in our world we're not happy with, why do we stay there? Open your eyes. Let's take that right arm up. Let's take the side bend out over that left leg. Remember, the shoulder stays open. It's pulling behind you. So you can alter up where the gaze is taking you. You could look up. You could look forward. You could look down. You could slowly rotate the head. And then let's destroy this pose peacefully. Come back to center. Let's bring the hands down in front of us. And then option A, stay right here. Option B, if you are, your knees are okay, go ahead and sit back onto that right ankle and come down into a fold. If you have, your knees are, having a little chat with you today, don't sit back. Or what you could do if you have a blanket or a sweatshirt nearby is tuck it behind the right knee so that when you do sit back, you aren't compacting that knee as much as it, could. You're protecting it. So come on down. Just another breath here. And then let's push our weight back up into our hands. Inhale, take that left arm up, a nice big open twist. Where is the expansion in this pose? And then let's slowly bring that left hand down. Inhale, take that right arm up. And then as I lower that right arm, it finds the earth. I'm just gonna walk my hands over to the right. I just wanna get the right hand down on the mat. We're just creatively working our way into a supported side plank. So as I draw that left arm up, I'm pushing my hips forward. Now visualize your triangle. Left foot to the crown of the head, crown chakra. Right hand, draw the imaginary line from the right hand back down to the left foot. Now let's expand and push into each angle of that. So can you feel the expansion on the top left side? If you take that top arm and reach it overhead, now you can feel it, right? Couple more breaths here. Perfect. Let's bring that top arm back up towards the ceiling. Very carefully pull the hips back. You can sit back for a second onto that right heel. We're just switching sides. So draw that left leg in. Let's pause to take the arms up. Bring the palms together and release them to the heart. When you are ready, gently pop up onto the knees. Take that right leg out to the side and gate. And again, can you close your eyes for a moment? Does this pose feel the same on this side as it did on the other? This does not challenge our balance all that much. We have a lot to rest upon, especially with the shin out behind us. So hopefully it feels pretty balanced. When you're ready, open the eyes, take that left arm up. Side bend over that right leg. Feel the expansion on the left side ribs. Again, you can change your gaze, your drishti, wherever you want it to be. And then again, slowly transitioning, thinking about the transition, the destruction of that pose, but coming down into the creation of something new, right? And so again, this is option A, especially if your knees are a little unhappy. Otherwise, sit back onto that left heel, come on down. And so really appreciating the slow movement of our vinyasa right now, of our practice. We are going to pick it up. But, breathe into the peaceful part right now. Okay, let's push our way back up into our hands. Inhale that right arm up and open. Expansive breath. Invoking Shiva to change this pose, bring the arm down. Inhale Brahma, creator of a new pose, take the arm up. And then Vishnu sustaining. But always breathing while you're sustaining, right? And then as you bring that left arm down, the hands are walking over to the left. I want to plant that left hand. I'm going to slowly push the hips forward as I take my top arm up. So visualize your triangle again. Which side of the triangle is easiest to feel? Now take that top arm, reach it overhead. Does that change your answer? Perfect. Let's bring that top arm back up. Pull the hips back to gently sit down on the left heel. Draw the right leg in. Inhale the arms. And exhale to your heart. So from here, let's come into table. Tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Send the left leg up, three-legged dog. Let's open that up, flying pigeon. Good job. Level out the hips, sweep that left foot forward between the hands for lunge, find your balance, come on up. Let's take the hands to the heart. I want to sink into this pose. Can you get the front thigh parallel to the ground? I promise we're not going to sustain that very long. We're just trying. And then go ahead and slowly straighten out that front leg. It's a little bit more of a challenge on the balance, right? Good job. Bend back into that front leg. Slowly straighten it out. Don't lock the front knee. Perfect. Bend back into that leg, hands to the earth, three-legged dog, left leg up. One-legged plank. Breathe. If you can keep the lips out, okay, let me try that again. If you can keep the hips level, you can do a one-legged chaturanga. If you're not so sure, put that foot down so that you maintain stability. Chaturanga. Into cobra. Come on down, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Perfect. Send the right leg up, three-legged dog. Flying pigeon, open that top hip. Level out the hips as the right foot sweeps through. Find your balance. Take it up. Hands to the heart. Focus on that front thigh. Let's drop down here. Slowly straighten out the front leg. Rebend. Slowly straighten it out. Come back into your lunge. Release the hands, three-legged dog, right leg up. One-legged plank. If you want to, it's a one-legged chaturanga. Inhale, cobra. Downward facing dog. Pause right there for 3 breaths. Make that last one a cleansing exhale. Good job. Walk the feet forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway to monkey. Now, I'm pausing here. If your hands are on your shins, bend into the knees, plant the fingertips. Step that left foot back, maybe 3 feet. And so we want to straighten out that front leg, working our way into pyramid. Do you see the triangle, right? The legs naturally form a triangle. Visualize a pyramid. It is a very strong structure. Oftentimes people who are cleansing crystals will put them under a copper pyramid. Pyramids are said to amplify energy, and so that's the purpose of that. So whether you feel this pose is a struggle or not, can we feel how it's amplifying some sort of energy? Can we sustain this peacefully? Or are you already invoking Shiva to come change this? So if you're in a fold, go ahead and straighten out the arms. If you keep the left hand down, and you know what, if you have a block nearby, it gives you a little extra height. If you don't worry about it. The right arm is going to reach up. So a twisted pyramid. And then release the right hand. Bend into that front knee. I want to step further back with that left leg so I can get a little lower here. Perfect. Now step back to plank, chaturanga, bhujangasana, cobra, downward facing dog. Any way you want to get to forward fold. Take it to monkey. Hold it here. Step the right foot back a few feet. Shift your weight back. Try to keep both legs straight for pyramid. Pull that right hip forward. And then maybe you have more room in front of you to fold. Look at the triangle. Can you feel, or should I say sense, all 3 sides evenly? Especially this one. This triangle is more of an equilateral, isn't it? So focusing on the stretch behind the left leg as much as I'm focusing on the lengthening of the right leg. And then this imaginary energy between both feet. Perhaps you're pushing both feet in opposite directions. Perhaps you're kind of playing and drawing both feet in together. And then I'm coming out of the fold, planting the right hand, left arm reaches up, twisted pyramid. Sustaining and breathing. And then release the hand. Bend into the front leg so you can send the right foot further out behind you. When you're ready, step back to plank, everybody's favorite pose. Inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Find your cobra. Downward facing dog. Deep inhale. Loud exhale. So let's send the right leg up behind us, three-legged dog. Step that right foot forward between the hands. Plant that back foot. Come on up into warrior B. Take a few deep breaths here. Check your alignment. Shoulders over the hips, not out in front. The front knees pulling back. You got it. Now let's find our triangle. So slowly straighten out that front leg, and that's all we're doing. In fact, take your hands to the heart. Drop your chin. Try not to lock the front knee. I just want you to feel the strength of both legs. Are they both equally holding this? Perfect. Now lengthen up out of the back and just take the upper body over to the right. Don't lock the right knee. If you have to softly bend it, that's okay. Breathe. Make sure that front shoulder did not come down to help you get here. Happy place, Vishnu, preservation, sustaining this pose. Oh yeah, you feeling that? Okay, come on back up. Let's just pause here a moment. Give that front leg a break, maybe give it a little wiggle. Nice. Take the arms up. Hold on to a ball of energy. Start to pop that left hip out. Reach out over that right leg. Strengthen the breath here. If this is too much, just drop a hand down or come back up slightly, right? And you know what I mean by too much. If it's just hard, stake it out. If it hurts, get out of it, right? Okay, come back up. Warrior B, Virabhadrasana. Cartwheel the hands to the earth. Step back to plank. Take your most fabulous vinyasa. We'll all meet in dog. When you're ready, left leg's going up, three-legged dog. Step that foot forward between the hands. Warrior B, when you're ready. Again, make sure the shoulders are over the hips. And then slowly straighten out that front leg. Take the hands to the heart. Oops, I'm backwards when I turned around. Knew something was wrong there. Okay, you ready? Keep the hands together. Lift out of the low back. Side bend to the left. Stay with the breath. Tap into your happy place. So Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, as you can tell, creator, sustainer, and destroyer. How that is the cycle of life. That's the cycle of our planet. It's the cycle of Earth. All Hindu deities stem from some aspect of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. Okay, come on back up. I was trying to distract you. If you need to move that front leg a little bit, go ahead. When you're ready, ball of energy, send the arms up. Find your strength from that energy you're visualizing. Pop the right hip out. Take this over. Strong breath. Good job. Come on back up. Virabhadrasana, be warrior. Cartwheel the hands to the earth. Step back to plank. Happy Vinyasa. Deep inhale in dog. Cleansing exhale. Take it to child's pose. John Stuart Blackie wrote this. Brahma is the great creator. Life, a mystic drama. Heaven and earth and living nature are but masks of Brahma. So, Brahma is the creator of everything. On your yoga mat, you are the creator of everything. You're creating it as you want it to be, as it needs to be. Couple more breaths. Feel the body's just slowing down a little bit. We're still picking it up though. I mean, we haven't even done triangle pose yet. That would be unfortunate. Okay, rise up into table. Tuck the toes. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Come back to cow. Downward facing dog. Walk the feet forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, monkey. As you exhale, right leg is stepping back, warrior B. All right, let's get settled into that pose here, right? Find your alignment. Slowly straighten out the front leg. Reach with the left hand as far as you can out of that right hip. As far as you can, as far as you can. The bottom arm drops. It's either going to find your leg somewhere or it's going to find the ground, whether it's in front of the foot or behind, doesn't matter to me. Take the other arm up. Now here's where I need you to be careful. Do not come forward to get down into this pose. You need that shoulder right over the other shoulder. And if it's not, back out, right? We want to be in the same plane with the hips and the shoulders. So here's Trikonasana. Do you see? This has actually, remember we said tree, 3 angles. This has 3 triangles in it. So, you know, go ahead and look. There's a triangle from both my legs to the earth, right? There's a triangle from my left hand going to my left shoulder, coming over to my hip, hypotenuse is back down. The third triangle, left foot and hand to the top hand, to the back foot, and all the way across. There's a lot of strength in this pose. You should feel the expansion on the right side of the body. If you don't, take your hand for a moment to your top hip. Try to push it away from you. Push the crown of the head in the other direction. Hold that, and then take the arm back up. Breathe. Yes, you're supposed to breathe through all that. Don't you love this pose? Oh, I do. Okay, bend into that front knee. Warrior B. Give that leg a break. Whew. Straighten out that leg. Pigeon toe the feet. Come on down into any wide-legged fold you want to. When you're ready, walk the hands over towards the left foot. Let's add a twist here. And then plant the hands over there to the left side. Pivot on that left leg so that you're in a low lunge. Step back to plank. And let's take this one to upward facing dog. So come forward onto the toes, on the tops of the feet, then gently drop the hips, they don't touch. Breathe. Nice lengthening here of the low back. Downward facing. And then forward fold, however you choose to get there. Inhale, monkey. Let it go. Stay with your breath for a moment. And then that left leg is stepping back. You're going to find your way up into warrior bee. Straighten out that front leg gently. Pop the left hip out. Right hand reaching, like seriously, there's a twig spot right there. Grab onto it. When you can't go any farther, bottom hand is going to drop. Top arm up. Like if you really want to push yourself in this pose, see if you can not allow the right fingertips to touch the earth. I just have the back of my hand pushing against my ankle. And in pushing against my ankle, it actually does help rotate that top shoulder back a little more. So that's up to you. You don't have to do that. But anyway, try not to lock the front knee. Find that extension on the left side ribs. Locate your 3 triangles. Invoke their strength. There's another triad I want to talk about in a moment. But first, let's enjoy this pose. Come on up, warrior bee, Virabhadrasana. Whew. Straighten out that front leg, pigeon toe the feet, come back down into your wide angled fold. So while you're hanging out there, let me chat with you. So you have the Sanskrit word gunas. There are 3 of them. You have rajas, tamas, and sattva. So you have all 3 of those in your personality, in your character. Rajas is when you're fired up. You have a lot of energy. You're on the go. Tamas is when you're feeling sluggish. You're just kind of on the couch and you don't want to move. And then sattva is when you have this very calm energy about you. Interestingly enough, if you are familiar with Ayurvedic medicine, those 3 gunas sound very much a lot like the 3 characteristics of Ayurveda, right? Rajas, that fiery essence, is a pitta. And then tamas, the more sluggish energy, is a kapha. And then perhaps the calmer energy of vata. And so if you're familiar with Ayurvedic, maybe this might be of interest to you. And so we have all 3 of those characteristics, but the question is, which one is dominant right now? I want you to walk your hands on over to that right foot, coming into a twisted wide fold. And then keeping the hands off on that right side, pivot around into a low lunge. Step back to plank, upward facing dog when you're ready. So from here, I'm going to start to bend my elbows. I'm going to let my legs touch. My hips are coming down. I am slowly releasing everything. I'm coming straight into gecko off to the left side. Open out that hip and knee. Make a pillow for your head, or take that left arm into scarecrow and close your eyes. So think about this triad we've been discussing this whole time in relationship to your world, especially your external world, right? So if you guys have been following my videos or you know me well, you know that I'm as careful as I humanly can be about putting negative words into the universe. So I think I have maybe only once mentioned the name of that little bug that's going around. I don't put that into the energy field. So, but think about the creation of that. Right now, we're in preservation mode. We're in sustaining, enduring, can you see that down the road there is a destruction to its existence? Its existence in whatever form it is right now. Of course, it's probably going to morph and do other fun things, but everything is temporary. And while perhaps it doesn't feel that way right now, if your frustration levels are getting really high, and that could be for a myriad of things. If you think about all of the different opinions about this subject, right? You have the people who are adamantly locking down, which my family's in that category. If you make a line all the way to the other end of people who don't care at all and they're just going about their life as normal, then all the people who are somewhere in between, right? For each one of us, we will find the situation to be temporary. We will eventually come to now take the word destruction in the form of change. We are going to find something changes, something shifts, and then Brahma steps in and there's a creation of maybe a new aspect of our lives that we can't even picture right now. So try not to get too hung up on any stage of grief you might still be in. Remember, grief is not just about sadness, it's about anger and it's about denial and a whole lot of other things, right? Try to grab onto that seed of hope. This is the time to be planting seeds, literally. While I'm chatting on and on, go ahead and switch gecko to the other side. So one of the ancient Sanskrit texts, the Veda, I have this quote for you about Vishnu. It reads this way. Through all the world strode Vishnu. Thrice, there's that three again, thrice his foot he planted, and the whole world was gathered in his footsteps. Vishnu, the guardian, he whom none deceiveth, made 3 steps and established his laws. So we're in the law of preservation right now and sustaining our energy within the sustaining force of what is happening externally. You've got this. Don't give up. We're breathing in hope. We're breathing in peace. We're breathing in light. And Vishnu is connected with the element, if you will, of light, aspect of light. We're breathing in healing. We're breathing in love. And I think we especially need to breathe in compassion. And what I mean by that is, opinions are, I say this a lot, they're not based in fact, but our opinions are an extension of our experience and who we are. And we need to exert compassion for all the people that I just described that are not of the opinion or at the place we are, right? We need kindness. Let's breathe in kindness. And then will you shift your focus from inhaling all these fabulous things in to exhaling what doesn't align with any of that? Get rid of it. And then go ahead and straighten out that right leg. Let's go ahead and get the right forearm underneath us, parallel to the front of the mat. Left hand's free to reach back for that left foot and draw it in. Nice job. Gently release. We're switching to the other side. And then gently let that leg go. Meander over onto your back. Knocking all the props down. Hug the knees under the heart. Rock it out. Grab onto the big toes. Just see where the legs can head toward the ceiling. They don't have to straighten. Close your eyes. Envision this new triangle of the legs down the arms and then along the spine. And then slowly draw the knees back in. I'm going to plant that left foot, set the right ankle up on top of that left thigh. A very gentle seated pigeon or supine pigeon, I meant. Here you should be feeling the expansion somewhere in that right hip, right glute. Breathe into it. This pose, easier to sustain, right? And then allow for it to morph into your supine pigeon on the other side. And then slowly release both feet on the mat. I want you to gently push the back of the head into the mat. Lift the shoulders, slide them down and underneath you. Reestablish your weight on top. Relax the spine. Stretch out one leg, then the other. Take the feet to the width of the mat. Relax the arms. Palms are facing up. Close your eyes. Slow, deep inhale from the soles of the feet all the way up the body to the crown chakra. And then from the crown chakra all the way back down to the soles of the feet. Feel the body letting go. Let go of all the triangles. Let go of any shapes. Our attempt here is to just be without a label. So have a fabulous journey into Shavasana, and you'll hear my voice when it's time to come back. Bringing your focus back to your breath. Keep your eyes closed. Allow the breath to deepen. And perhaps you invite some movement back into the hands and the feet. And then stretch the arms overhead. Lengthen out here. Back to expanding. And gently bring the arms back down alongside you for a moment. Strong inhale through the nose. Loud exhale. Now imagine there's a little ball of energy in each hand. And one is love, and one is hope, specifically for the manifestation of the intention that you set at the beginning of class. Now very slowly, let's lift both hands up towards the ceiling. Hang on to your balls of energy and gently bring the palms together above you. So my hands are in prayer pose. Fingertips are pointing to the ceiling. You've created another triangle. The triangle goes from shoulder to shoulder, and then from each shoulder up to the very tips of your fingers. I want you to feel the power of that energy in your hands. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly bring that loving and hopeful energy down to the heart in prayer pose. The light in me bows to the light in you. And when I'm in that place in me, and you're in that place in you, then we become one. Namaste.